All right, out of this section, we're just doing a few things here. The first ones say to find the first 6 terms and the 100th term of the explicitly defined sequence. So something like number 2, they give us that v sub n is equal to 4 over n plus 2. And we need to find the first 6 terms and then the 100th term. So basically we're just plugging in for n, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 100 to get those terms.
A big number.
So if I plug in 1, what do I get? 4 over 3. The second term, I'm just going to label the terms like this so we can... 100. All right, second term, so if I plug in 2, what do I get? 1. If I plug in 3, what do I get?
4 fifths.
4 fifths. 4.
What is
2 thirds.
that?
5. 4
4 sevenths.
4 sevenths. 6.
There we go.
Dot, dot, dot. If I plug in 100.
Oh, 100, not 10. 2 over 51.
Yep. So on those ones, you're just literally just plugging in. So the stuff that I think is really important for, based on what I've seen with the AP out of this section, is the stuff that asks you about the common difference, like what the 10th term would be, and then it has the stuff about like the recursive rule for the nth term and the explicit rule for the nth term, which that stuff I'm not sure is like quite as big of a deal, but we'll look at some of that. But just being able to figure out what term it is and how they get there, basically. So this is jumping all the way to 22. -4, 1, 6, 11, dot, dot, dot. And so the first thing is they tell us the sequence is arithmetic and they want us to find the common difference. So how are we getting from one term to the next? Add 5. B wants the 10th term. So we have 4 terms so far. So if I just kept going just to make it easy. So I've got -4, 1, 6, 11. What's the next term? 16, then 21, 26.
31.
That's 1, 2, 4. That's 8. 2 more.
36.
Yep. So that would be, the 10th term would be 41. So we know that A sub 1 is -4. So this part not part B, part C wants us to find the recursive rule for the nth term. And so we know that A sub 1 is equal to -4. And I know that to get there, I have to add 5 every time. And so, any ideas what my equation would be? So it's the definition that we had up here, like this. So a sub n is equal to what?
A seven, or,
Yeah.
yeah,
This just represents the term.
okay.
So this is saying the previous term plus the common difference. So what would ours be?
So -4 plus
This is generic.
A7 minus 1 plus 5.
A sub n minus 1 plus 5.
Okay.
Yep. Because we've already told them that the first term is -4. So basically we have to have both of these pieces to be complete. And we would say this is for n greater than or equal to 2.
Okay. Is it okay if I go to comments?
Yeah, that's fine.
Goodbye.
Oh, here's then an explicit rule for the nth term. So these are the ones that are like a sub n is equal to whatever the first term is. So it'd be like a sub n is equal to -4 plus whatever we're like adding or whatever. So 5 in this case times n minus 1. So it's just a different way to write the same thing. So both of those would get us to the same end result if we were just looking for a specific term. Because if they asked you on the exam for like the 25th term, it probably would make more sense for you to write out an equation like this and plug in 25 than it is for you to sit there and keep adding 5. I mean, not that you can't, but
Yeah.
it might make more sense to do that. Or they might ask you, like, give you a sequence and say which one of these, is the situation for the given problem or whatever, like which formula does that. Let's do one more of these ones, and then we'll do geometric on Monday at the very beginning, and then we'll basically more or less be done with this stuff, I think, for that. But we might just end up, I don't know, TBD. -7, 4, 15, 26, ... And so this one's looking for you to do basically the same thing that we did on the last one. So the common difference would be what? How do I get from one term to the next?
Add 11.
Add 11. So B, I want the 10th term. Let's wait and let's do part B after we do C and D, so that we don't have to just keep adding 11 every time. So see the recursive rule for the nth term. So a sub 1 is equal to -7. So I guess I should really say and. A sub n is equal to what?
A sub n minus 1 plus 11.
Yep. And we'll want to make sure we put that n greater than or equal to 2 on there as well. And then what about our writing it explicitly?
A sub n equals -7 plus 11 n minus 1.
Yep. So then now we can use those formulas that we wrote. I can't really use the one from C because that would require me to know the term before it, right, to keep going. So, but I can use D. So D is a little easier when you need like a farther out term. So if I want the 10th term, so plug in 10 for n, and what do we get?
27. I think.
So 10 minus 1 times 11.
Oh, times 11. Sorry, I
And
did.
you do.
I did the outside first. Dude, I'm completely forgetting everything.
So then we would get 92 for that
Yeah.
by using part D. So you could just add it also to check it, but that's how we would do that.
Wasn't spring break last week?
Yeah, but it feels like it was like 8 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So we'll look at 2 geometric on Monday that are just like this. It asks us like for the same stuff, but just for geometric, it asks us for the common ratio instead of common difference, and it asks for the 8th term instead of 10th. And then we might look at a couple of these that say something like the 5th and 9th terms of an arithmetic sequence are -5 and -17 respectively. Find the first term in a recursive rule for the nth term. So kind of like, how do we get there? Because that kind of seems like some of the questions that they were asking us there. And then we'll wrap that up. And then if y'all feel like you're ready for the quiz Tuesday, we'll go ahead and take the quiz Tuesday. But if you feel like we need a little more time, we can bump it.
Oh,
Do it.
on the quizzes,